Kendra James biography. Name: Kendra James. Date of birth: January 18, 1981. Hometown: San Francisco, California, US. Measurements: 34c, 25-34. Height: 1.68 meters. Hair color: red. Eye color: hazel. Shoe size: women's 7, US. Years active: 1998 present. Kendra James is a fan favorite fetish model and girl performer who was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the 2017 AVN Awards. A former professional dominatrix and circus performer, Kendra has aimed an avid fan following within both the fetish lifestyle market and the mainstream adult industry due to her sizzling scenes for Kink.com, Girls Way and Twisties. So where did it all begin? Raised in San Francisco, California, Kendra grew up in the Bay Area and has mentioned in her June 2016 Adult Talk interview that she had a pretty liberal childhood. As Kendra puts it in her own words, "I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, the East Bay, and I feel like I had a very normal childhood. It was the Bay Area in the 90s and it was pretty liberal and open, and I had the freedom to explore and do things that maybe a lot of other kids wouldn't have been able to do. I really wanted to be an actress when I grew up. I did the acting schools and did some commercial work and a little bit of stuff here and there when I was a teenager. So that's what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I guess I sort of get to do it. I guess I am what I actually wanted to be." Kendra first started working in the adult industry as a professional dominatrix in 1998 at Fantasy Makers in San Francisco. Originally, Kendra only went along to an audition to support a friend, but soon discovered that she loved the lifestyle. As Kendra explained in her June 2016 Adult Talk interview, "I stumbled upon it by mistake. A friend of mine was moving from San Francisco to Seattle, and she was looking for some quick cash and started to make money very quickly. She was auditioning at strip clubs, then she saw an ad in a free paper in Oakland for mistresses. She went and interviewed with this place, and she was looking for moral support. She wasn't sure it was something she wanted to do, she wasn't sure how it would go, and I went along with her to support her and make sure everything was okay. During the interview process, I was ooh, this is interesting. I could do this." She found that she wasn't into it, and I found that I really was. I really liked the idea of it. I think I was about 19 at that point. I could do this. It sounds like fun. I worked at a dungeon in San Francisco for a while, and they closed, and I ended up working at a dungeon in the East Bay for a number of years. Ever eager to explore new career avenues, when Kendra was 19 she ran off and joined the circus. Traveling with the Reverend B. Dangerous Freak Show under the stage name Chess, Kendra learned how to use a bullwhip, dance on broken GL and swallow swords. Talking about her circus years during her November 2012 Barrelist interview, Kendra divulged that, "When I was 19, I ran off and joined the circus. No, really. I learned how to use a bullwhip and hit targets with it, dance on broken GL and swallow swords. I don't do this anymore, but every so often I'll use one as a party trick. When I was learning how to swallow swords I'd carry a drumstick or knitting needle around with me and pull it out in bars after I'd been drinking. It's a little disturbing to see some chick randomly swallowing a long stick at a bar." Kendra James' adult film career. Kendra filmed her first movie and posed for her first box cover for Red Board in 1998. Kendra also shot for the former adult network SickPuppy.com between 1999 and 2003, and she started filming some saucy BDSM scenes for Kink.com in 2002. We recommend checking out Kendra Zing Machine's solo shoot in May 2002, her hogtied bondage session in July 2002, her whipped medical roleplay with Kim Wilde in July 2002, and her whipped BDSM three-way with Cowgirl and Summer Cummings in August 2002. When Kendra was asked about her personal dominant submissive preferences within her June 2016 Adult Talk interview, she revealed that, "It really depends on the situation. I wouldn't say naturally one way or the other. It's sort of whatever happens in the situation, and I like being both top and bottom. It really is dependent on what is going on and how I'm feeling in the moment. Sometimes, I'll be tie me up and do things to me. And other times, I'll be nope. This is the way it is. Actually, I would say I'm more of a control freak. I want to know exactly what's going on and being in control of the situation, which is also probably why I've never had an agent." Kendra has discussed these early years in greater detail during her 2014 Cynical magazine interview and revealed that she was also a photographer and editor for many of Kink.com's hogtied, wired and whipped shoots between 2000 and 2003. As Kendra herself explains, "I found a local dungeon in San Francisco to work in, and some of the other women there also modeled. I was introduced to photographers, models and the beginning of kinky websites. San Francisco was such a mecca of kink in the late 1990s, and there were so many fantastic people to work with. It wasn't difficult to get in touch with amazing photographers once you were in the goth fetish scene. The scene was still pretty intimate. Everything changes and evolves. Photographers moved from film to digital photos to video as the demand for it rose and as websites started to take off. Of course, one of the largest and most influential fetish companies in the world is based in San Francisco, and they were on the forefront of video in the digital age. Working for Kink.com years ago, I didn't realize how ahead of the time they were. From the beginning they primarily shot video, and I guess I thought everyone did it that way. The way they did do business influenced me a great deal, and I learned a lot working for them. Most people don't realize that I not only was one of their models, but I was also an employee for a couple years. If you look back at pictures from Hogtied, Wired and Whipped between 2000 and 2003, they were taken by me, and much of the video was edited by me. Over the years, Kendra has collaborated with Kink.com on a wealth of femdom, BDSM and fetish content, most recently appearing in an Entertainment for a Mistress scene with Chad Rock that was released via Kink.com in October 2011 as part of their Men in Pain web series. Kendra also launched her official solo website, MissKendrahams.com, in 2007, and she continues to share all manner of exclusive BDSM content with her devoted fan following via her new official website KendraJames.com. Alongside her solo web content, Kendra has collaborated with David Mack on some sizzling fetish scenes for the Bondage channel, as well as shooting a broad spectrum of fetish scenes for FM Concepts, PRV Productions, Amateur Bound, Trans Fetish Productions, Handcuffed Babes, Badman Productions, with Irene Boss for Boss Video, with Steve Lake for Lakeview Entertainment, and with Anastasia Pierce for Anastasia Pierce Productions. Some of Kendra's most popular fetish movies include Taboo, Lovers Enslaved, 2008, for Hustler Video in the Anastasia Pierce Productions Bless Obey Her, 2011, and Boudoir Secrets, 2012.